terrible.
No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen.
We are here. We are live. UFC London. Sean Brady versus Leon Edwards. Fight start time. Prelim start 1 p.m. And we are here to break down the full card, main card, and prelims top to bottom. Coming off the heels of UFC Vegas 104. Doladeze versus Vettori 2. A card where I came on this podcast. I picked a whole lot of underdogs. And wouldn't you know it, 6 underdogs got their hand raised. 6 out of 13. We haven't done this in a while. I will read off. If you had bet just $10 on all the correct picks, all 13 fights, if you had gotten all 13 fights correct last week, $10 would have paid $72,349.76. So my 10 underdogs that I picked didn't seem so ridiculous once the night got rolling. I did cash out a little bit of money on Priscilla Cachoeira. I did bet a lot of the underdogs. I did take Carlos Vera. 14-1. $75 bet to pay $1,125. I did cash that. Now, I continued to bet. I bet on other people. I had lost some money. I did come out even in the night. I came out about $100 or so profit. So we are here now. Could have been a bigger night if a few other people followed through. We're going to talk it all. We're going to break down our reaction from UFC Vettori versus Doladeze 2, and we're going to take you into UFC London, a fight night that starts during the day. Takes me back to my Hawaii days. The fight start time is 1 p.m., so a 7 p.m. start time would have started in Hawaii at 1 p.m. This fight card will start Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. I'm excited. I love watching the fights during the day. Don't have to wait around all day. Get to go to bed early. I'm excited for UFC London. I like a lot of spots here. But first, let's check in with the boys. Alex, Dan. We'll start with you, Dan. How was your viewing experience? How was your weekend? I was in sunny Florida myself. I had a flight. I literally made it through the whole card, and the plane was taking off. We were wheels up at the start of round 5 for Doladeze versus Vettori. And my service cut out, so I only missed the last round of the main event. Checked as soon as I landed, saw that Doladeze got his hand raised. Closer fight than I would have liked it to be, though. I will admit, it is what it is. Here we go. How was your night, Dan?
Night was great. Weekend was great. The wife was away on a girls' trip, so the dog was on the loose. Viewing experience, no distractions, no nothing. So I was really going ham. I came out, as you can tell by my beautiful score here, $105 richer than I did going in. So that's 2 winning weeks in a row. Now there's small fries here, but I'm going to take this momentum all the way to the top. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to lie to you folks, UFC London, when I first looked at it, looking a little chalky, so I can't promise too much of a $100,000 victory, which I've been shooting for years now. My white whale, even I have to admit, doesn't look like a white whale moment this weekend. But hey, you know what? Maybe we could get another $100 profit, something to that like, and we'll get some forward momentum and progress towards the white whale that we've been searching for this whole damn time.
Well,
Alex,
before you get into it, Alex, just to comment on what Dan said. In hindsight, you look at the card, right, and you go, okay, the last 2 fights of the night, you guys were on in Jaquani. I kind of leaned that way as it was getting nearer to the actual fight. I did pick Dos Santos on the show, but I think that was more so just me realizing I had so many underdogs. Because as I started to look at it, I was like, he's going to lose. Like, Dos Santos is going to fucking lose this. So last 2 fights, 2 dogs. Sam Hughes, always a good dog at 2-1. The first fight of the night, I think the value is on the under because Dana White always says you put the most exciting fight first. And although I kind of thought Durbin was more apps for a knockout that night. The under was the play. I did solo bet the under, posted in the open bet sheet, patreon.com/PerkParlayPursuit. Solo bet the under, parlayed those winnings into betting just Priscilla Cachoeira straight up. She got the win. Amazing win. Always a reliable underdog. So really it was like, let's say, and then I took 14-1 Carlos Vera by submission. So the most obvious kind of plays, the reliable dog, Sam Hughes, Priscilla Cachoeira, and 14-1 Carlos Vera by submission, knock that into Roman Doladeze. I mean, you only need a few good spots to really turn a little lot these days. You just got to be a little bit sneaky with some of these props, a little bit sneaky with some of these dog shots, and be willing to stay true to your feelings and your heart, and you'll end up with big swings. I mean, guys, I was down this much, and I turned that all around and won $4,000 over the course of 2 weeks. So I'm here to build back better, and by May, I'm expecting come May, when we finish season 5, I'm really expecting, hey, I took my $1,000 to $10,000. That's what I'm expecting to say to you guys. So that's the goal for me. It always has been. It's not impossible, and I've done it before. I'll do it again. So with that said, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Alex.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well, my good pal. And, I would have had a much better night, but a couple of stinkers didn't go my way. Happy, though. Won like $600, $700, won a boatload more on blackjack, gave a lot of that back, but I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to be closer to getting back even. And like Luke said, I'm about to build back better, like Conor McGregor. He was at the White House today.
I saw that. He said Ireland is in shambles. He said Ireland is a travesty what's going on in Ireland right now. Prayers for Ireland. And here we are.
Pray for Paris. Pray for the parents.
So I was getting ready to leave for the airport. I'm at my wife's grandmother's house. Had a beautiful dinner. Nice glass of red wine. Nice Italian meal. So delicious. And it's so nice. I really love being in Florida, visiting my in-laws, visiting my wife's family. We went to a wedding. That was a bit of an ordeal. I mean, I took my 1-month-old and my 3-year-old on the airplane. They were fine. They slept the whole time. But then we landed in Fort Lauderdale, much like Andrew Tate. We had to get in a rental, and we had to drive 3 hours to this fucking random island in Florida for this wedding. So while the kids were good on the plane, 3.5 hours in the car with a 1-month-old, didn't like being in his car seat, had to pull over a couple times, no big deal. But then, you get to the Airbnb. I got to take my wife to get her hair and makeup done. She's in the wedding. She's got to, we go to the wedding. I skip the ceremony. I'm with the kids. She's at the ceremony. She comes back. We meet up. We go to the reception. Got to change diapers. Got to get kids fed. Got to keep the baby away from the loud noise. It was not, I had a great time. I was standing by the beach with my son, just looking in his beautiful eyes. I'm listening to the DJs playing Sweet Caroline, right? Reaching out, touching you, and I'm looking at my beautiful baby boy, and I'm just so happy. I'm like, man, like I don't even want to be in that wedding right now. My wife and my daughter were in there dancing, having fun. I'm just holding the babies. We had headphones for them, but we forgot them at the Airbnb. So I didn't want to bring them too close to the speaker. So I'm kind of like, 60 yards away from the wedding, but looking at the ocean, looking at the moon, looking at the stars, holding my little baby boy. He's sleeping. Huge party going on. He's just sleeping. I'm just holding him, looking at him like, I have a son. I'm like, none of these people, there were a lot of my fraternity brothers were at this wedding. It was my wife's sorority sister marrying my fraternity brother. So a bunch of guys I hadn't seen since college. They're all drinking. They don't have kids yet. They're having fun. But I didn't want to be anywhere else. I was sitting there with my little baby boy. And I'm like, none of these guys even know how the joy of having a little son, just a little legacy, just my little man. You're going to send him to Dagestan 2-3 years. And and then he goes, reaching out, touching me, touching. And the DJ flips the song to Soldier Boy. And he goes, touching you. I literally almost had a tear coming down my eyes. Just looking at him, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Like, oh, and then you. I'm like, but it was cool because, my son, my daughter, they had never heard Soldier Boy, the 8th grade banger right there. Freshman year of high school, banger, crank that. So I was like very appreciative that they got to hear that for the first time. Overall, good weekend. Yeah. So Trev, the Bulldog, comes in. He says, Dos Santos let me down. I put $10 down on a solid parlay to win $1,200, and that was the only one. See, Trev, here's the deal, man. You're looking at that $1,200 profit, right? At that point, what you do is you go, there's one fight left, and I have the favorite. So I have the $1,200 to spend. You at that point, you ask yourself.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
You could have had the main event as well.
Listen. You basically, if Dos Santos wins, you have $1,200. Okay. He's the favorite. You have to then ask yourself, what would I have to bet on Dos Santos to win $1,200? And the answer would be what? I mean, he was almost minus 250, right? So if you bet 250, you win 100. If you bet 250, you win 100. So if you bet 500, you win 200. If you bet 1,000, you win 400. If you bet 2,000, you win 800.
You couldn't be more off base.
2,400 would get him.
Yeah, Chitty was an underdog.
I know. He had Dos Santos.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Why are you worried about Dos Santos then?
I'm telling you, he bet. Listen.
And there's another fight left, Luke. There's another fight after that. This isn't the last
math problem. Weren't you a mathlete? It's a math problem.
I was, but there's another.
I had Roman Dolidze. Okay,
boom. There you go.
Calm down.
So you can't hedge like that when you have another fight left. That it's not feasible.
But you have to ask yourself, okay, if Dos Santos wins, I'm in the money for $1,200. You would have to bet $2,500. You have to bet $2,500 to win $1,000 on Dos Santos money line. So you have to then ask yourself, would I bet that? No. So
armchair quarterbacks.
What you do is you say I have $1,200. I'm going to win. I can bet comfortably $200 on Shitty to win about $400, right? And then you go, who am I more confident in? And honestly, the line for Dolidze and Vettori is so close, and the first fight was so close, you would have gotten even money at any point on Vettori. So you just go, all right, that's when you have to start to hedge. When you're one or two legs away, and 10 to 1,200, you go, okay, I'm gonna go 200 on Njokuani. Got to hedge a little bit, Trev. I feel. Let's get the perfect parlay. That's the point here. We're all. I know. I'm just saying. You got to eventually start doing a little bit of actuarial science with this. You got to do a little bit of math and determine. How much. What I would have done is just said, okay, how much have I lost tonight? If the $10 bet was the only bet you made, sure, let it ride, fine. But I still would have said, what would I be happy with winning? If I'm happy with winning 1,000, let's throw 200 on Njokuani. If he wins, boom, you're up. Pretty good amount of money. And then you can either bet on Dolidze if you want, or let's say you lose the 2,000 or the 200. You lose the 200 on Njokuani. Dos Santos wins. Now you're going to win 1,200 minus 2. All of a sudden you go, all right, I'm going to win $1,000 if Roman wins. How much have I lost tonight? If I think Roman's going to win, just bet enough to win back what you lost. And then you're in a spot where it's like, I'm either going to win nothing or I'm going to win 900, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? It's always better. You got to think about this. A few $100s aside, it's always better to not lose than it is to lose. So it's like whether you lose 50 or win if you win 1,200 or if you win 900, still a great night. If you lose 50 when you could have won 700, whole different night. Right. No way you were betting on Marvin. So what you could have done, bet a little bit of that 1,200 you expect to win on Njokuani. Let's say worst case scenario you lose. Now you're down $400, but you're going to win 12 if Dolidze pulls it off. Then you can say, well, look, 400 is a little bit more than I was ever prepared to lose. So I'm going to bet enough on Vettori so that I don't lose that 400 that I just lost hedging on Njokuani. But I'm going to at least make break even or 600. And yeah, sure, you didn't win the extra 600 you would have won if you just let it ride. But over the long term, it's probably the right move when you're looking back. Ensuring that you don't lose. I don't like that we're all friends next. You know your guy friend kisses you. No. Hey, listen. The older you get, man, you kiss your friends. This guy rambling too much. He ain't got a green pinch his ass. Oh, me. Oh, yeah. I do have green, baby. Green pants. Green pants. So don't pinch me.
Nah, that don't count.
I was wearing green all day. I was
Very
wearing green
green
all day.
shade to me.
I was wearing green all day. There's green in my hat. There's green in my pants. I had a green shirt on all day.
You drinking Irish chocolate milk?
I'm drinking a Michelob Pure Gold. Kerrygold.
Oh, Kerrygold. I mean, you know.
USDA organic beer.
Kerry?
It doesn't taste any more poison than any other beer. It's a fucking waste of money, but I like it because it's got 2.5 carbs. I'm trying to maintain my ketosis over here. So, yeah, we get it. We get it, Justin. Thank you for joining us, Lucas, Justin, Bulldogs. Love that you guys are here. So let's get into it. Any highlight? I mean, for me, I sat here. I told you guys. I said this guy is from Africa. There are no jiu-jitsu schools in Africa. He's fighting a guy from America who's a jiu-jitsu specialist who we saw fight against an elite grappler in Hinya Nakamura, somebody who's an Olympian level grappler whose dad was like a promoter for a fight organization. And he was diving on leg locks. He was going for submissions every chance he gets. Just the fact that he was even able to scramble and get into some positions tells me against this guy from Africa, the KO wizard, he's going to fucking easily submit him. What I didn't expect was that he would head kick his ass, knock him down, jump on the choke. So I walk out to the car. I'm watching the fight. My wife's like, can you get me my blah, blah, blah out of the car? I'm like, yeah, sure. And every time I do something like this is a little lesson. If you're a dad, if you're a husband, and your wife tells you to do something during a fight, just do it. Just fucking do it. Miss the fucking what happens because God will reward you. So I go out to the car. I come back, and I'm like, oh, this commercial in between rounds is taking a while. Then I see, oh, they're standing in the octagon. No, somebody won. I'm like, man, who won? I'm like, trying to look.
That feeling. I hate that.
I'm like, who's more happy? Like, they're both kind of just standing there pretty stoked.
Yeah.
I really couldn't read. I was like, is Carlos happy? And then I was like, no, Carlos doesn't look that sad. And the other guy doesn't look that happy. And he goes, the winner by rear naked choke. I'm like, whoa, let's go. I just won $1,000. So 75 to win 11.25. Ended up, I had a big play on Cunningham. Honestly, guys, I'm going to say right now, I played Cunningham
a lot.
I paid 400 on Cunningham, 400 to win 2,000 on Cunningham, right? Because I'm sitting here, I'm thinking he trains with Bryce Mitchell. This other guy's a jiu-jitsu guy. Like, then I hear Cody Saftik after I made the play, and I go, oh, beautiful. Like, Saftik's on him too. This is great. But then I check Instagram. I see friend of the show, been on the show 3-4 times. Our guy, Clint McLean, the kiss of death.
Oh, no.
I see Clint played. He goes, I'm already on it. And anytime Clint does this, you know it's dead in the water. No offense, Clint. You know we love you. But you know this is true too. This year. If Clint posts that he was on somebody, right? And he's tripling down on them. Like, he goes, already on him for 1 unit, adding another 2 unit. I'm like, I see that. I go, no. I'm like, my bet is squandered. And I literally, after Vera won, the next fight's Cunningham. I looked at that. I bet on Hard Rock Bet. That's an app in Florida. That's the only betting app you can use in Florida. They let you cash out while the guys are walking out for the same amount you bet. So I'm looking at it. I go, I should just cash this 400 out. I should just cash it out right now. I'm like, cash it out, Luke. Cash it out. But I'm like, you'll never forgive yourself if I'm like Cunningham comes out and wins this fucking thing.
But yo, you had other parlays with Cunningham in them. It wasn't just that $400.
But I had that glass of
cash out the money line.
I had a glass of red wine, and my give a damn was busted. My inhibitions were released, and I was like, Luke, you're not going to lose money tonight anyway. No matter what happens, just let it ride.
That's a good.
I was like, and then you could be in this next fight. You could be up $2,000 with parlays intact to win bigger money. I'm like, this could. I should have fucking cashed it out, dude. I should have got. Then I'd be up a lot. Then I would have.
You were the biggest
more parlays with that money.
You're the biggest armchair quarterback, hindsight gambler I've ever met in my life.
Hey, you win or you learn.
Time it's like, I should have done this. I should have done that.
You win or you learn. You think these African prospect contenders want to get away from dirt cookies having to wear old Super Bowl?
Oh,
well, you gotta think.
Why'd you read that?
You gotta think. I can't read that one. You gotta think.
Yeah. Do we have like a pre-reader?
I didn't listen. You gotta think though. Just like Themba Garimbo, just escaping.
Alex, do it. Yeah.
You're looking at it through an American lens of like, oh, I'm, get rich or die trying 50 Cent. But these guys already made it. Like, they already got out of Africa. They're in the UFC. 2,000 to show, 4,000 to win, whatever it is that Dana White, I think it's 10-10 these days. That goes a long way. So the motivation, it's like the Super Bowl hangover. It's kind of like they've already capped out their goal. They're like, I did it. I made it to the UFC. I'm getting paid $10,000 fucking dollars right now. Like, and once I saw in the pre-fight B-roll, the KO Wizard, he's saying, he goes, I'm better than him on the ground. I go, okay. I hope you test that. I'm like, I hope you believe that shit. And he we didn't even need to take it there. The KO Wizard got head kicked by Carlos Vera. That was phenomenal. So
here's my commentary on the card. I'll just say this. I think there were 10 finishes out of 13 fights, something like that. So you definitely got your entertainment's worth. And shout out to the ladies. I got to say, you looked at the card. The first thing that stood out to me was 3 of the first 4 fights are lady fights. Well, guess what? Those first 2 fucking lady fights were bangers, KOs, really fun fights to watch. I was like, okay, Carly Judice, I was singing her praises going into her first loss. She showed me what's up. Like, that head kick was sweet. The Priscilla Cachoeira, kind of everybody was on that fight. That was the popular dog of the night. And she cashed in for a lot of people, and it was violent, and it was fun, it was awesome. So shout out to the ladies, shout out to the whole card. Let's bring the UFC back, because I feel like it's been lagging. Not a lot of star power. We need exciting performances. This is the way.
I'll tell you what, 2 Kimuras in a row. Bro, yes. A cop couldn't Kimura me if I was in handcuffs. Marcelo, I swear to you guys, as a jiu-jitsu hobbyist, Marcelo Garcia Jiu-Jitsu, you see it on my shirt, I've never been Kimura'd in my fucking life, dude. Ever. And I have bad shoulders. I'm a short guy. I got these T-Rex arms. I got big, thick mountain shoulders. So
doesn't the T-Rex arms kind of help you though? Shorter
arms? No, because the more torque and tension you have up here, like if you're a short guy you're stocky and you have mountainous shoulders like I do, you have big ass traps, big ass shoulders. This hurts. You know what I mean? Like already, it's like you know what I mean? Like you can get Kimura pretty easy. I've never been Kimura'd in my life. Wow. 2 Kimuras in a row from guys who do this for a living. Pretty crazy. Biggest bum of the night.
Hit me.
Wait, what did this guy say? Weak, small boys at your gym. I don't train at Marcelo Garcia Academy anymore, but when I was there, there's a lot of big boys there, okay? I don't think you know what you're talking about. The biggest bum of the night, Ryan Spann. Ryan Spann is a fucking bum, dude. Mm-hmm. Absolutely bum. Stinks, sucks. You know, if I were to describe him in 3 words, stink, stank, stunk. Let me share my screen real quick. So in addition to, all right, I'll just read it off. With the Vera win, and this is why it's like, I'm not so mad that I lost, or I won money, but I'm not so mad that like I kind of, by putting Vera in a lot of parlays, just money line, I opened myself up to winning so much fucking money. I was able to shoot higher by having that buffer, if you know what I'm saying. So I had a $50 parlay, $32 parlay, Vera, Cunningham, Doladeze. That's 32 to win 2,500, right? Then I had one Vera, Spann, Doladeze, 75 for 2,400. Then I had one Cachoeira, Vera, Spann, Doladeze, 25 for 2,000. Then I had Cachoeira, Spann, Hallabal, and Jaquani Doladeze. So bottom line is, if just Spann had won, I'm up $4.4 thousand. Okay. No. If Cunningham and Nurgazai win, I'm up $15,000. Okay. Yeah. Just those 2. So if just Spann wins, 4.4K. Take Spann out of it entirely. Spann loses, but Cunningham wins. $15,000. Okay. And then I had, so those were the close ones. Cunningham and Spann win, I'm up $8,000, right? So, more, 10,000 actually, 10,000. So real opportunity.
Spann and Hallabal were the issue for me, and you know what? say what you want about Span. He got kicked in the balls twice, poked in the eyes twice, and hit in the back of the head once.
Hey, that's a kimono, dog. That's a kimono you dropped, not a kimura.
But yeah, Kurt Hollowbell really ruined my night. Can't be getting taken down. Can't be succeeding bottom position, and can't just sit there and not try to get up at all. And I get it. Like some people will say there is an argument that he could have won that fight. I don't think so. I don't think so when you're sitting on your back for fucking 3/4 of the fight. It was insane. I hated to see that. And yeah, fuck that guy, Barrow. Every time I've ever bet on him, he's gotten knocked out in 10 seconds, and then he comes out there and just beats the shit out of a Kazakh. Get the hell out of here.
But Vital Facets, where do you train? Leave in the comments. I want to know where you train. Because
Gym Wars.
No, it's funny because like Marcelo Garcia Academy, I mean Marcelo Garcia, fucking 5-time, 6-time world champion. It's like where do you train? Who's your sensei? Like, where's your McDojo? Sitting at the corner of the mall in Supercuts. I'm in literally fucking Chelsea, New York City, paying $250 a month. What's your membership dues? My friend?
He trains at Hickson Gracie private classes, bitch.
Yeah. Hickson's son doesn't do too well. Hickson's son got fucking fucked up by Bryce Mitchell. Okay, so who gave a black belt to AJ Cunningham, who couldn't fucking make heads or tails of Jiu-Jitsu. So I don't really want to hear about Hickson Gracie. That's like saying no.
And Bryce Mitchell says that he's not just fighting a man on April 12th, he's fighting a legion of demons.
Well,
let's go.
Okay, well, let's not quote Bryce Mitchell. We know what he means by that, and I don't agree. Look, bad either way. So we got to go through the next card. We got to do it. I think that we touched on this one enough. Let's get into UFC London because there's a lot of shit I want to talk about here. First fight of the night, baby. We got Guram Kutalakedze versus Caio Fernandez, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. Caio Fernandez. I'm still growing up. I haven't had enough. I'm just a boy and I'm Caio. Something, right? Something like that?
Something like that.
Something like that. Little ball.
Caio was always a brat.
Yeah, I will not show my daughter or my son Caio. Caio's he's a whiner. He's a little whiner. We're a Spidey and Friends household here. Spideys don't give up. But no,
how funny was that fucking guy who's showing his kids UFC fights, and he's like, "We ain't a Coco Melon house over here," and then has Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, fucking My Hero Academia, Hunter x Hunter pictures all behind his fucking TV. Yeah, we don't watch child's fucking cartoons in here. We watch adult cartoons. My child isn't allowed to watch children's cartoons. They have to watch my grown-up cartoons. Get the fuck out of here. Bad parenting.
Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, exactly. Couldn't agree with you more. But there's something to be said about, like, I show my daughter, Pokemon, Ash Ketchum on A Date with Destiny, trying to.
But that is that is an anime for the kids. Okay, if you're watching these animes that are for adults with your children, get out of here with all that. And Peyton Talbot, he's in Frank Ocean's music video. What do you guys think about it?
That was sus. That was sus.
He ain't never beaten the allegations.
He doesn't want to. And listen, like, all you can do is laugh and clap. All you can do is laugh and clap.
Hat off.
It's more so me, like, it's like the Jelly Roll effect or like the Theo Vaughn effect. It's like all the fighters who kind of like start rubbing elbows with these celebutants, they end up not doing so well. So the Action Bronson effect, Action Bronson, Alex Pereira sparring it up, and then Alex Pereira goes out there and fucking looks shitty. It's like, stop. These celebrities need to take 3 steps all the way back from their little, Make-A-Wish, what's it called? Baseball summer camp. Yankee. What did Kramer do, Dan? Yankee camp? Yankee fantasy camp?
Fantasy camp.
Yeah. Like, no Yankee fantasy camp for these celebrities. I'm sick of them fucking infiltrating our fighters and causing them to lose. You want to train? Go train with Tom Hardy, okay? He's at least a blue belt. So yeah, Caio Fernandez, Nova Unyao, big dog here coming in, plus 330 as far as topology is concerned. Now it's not lost on me that Grom has certainly Grom, I feel like his first win, right? Mateus Gamrot, he comes in and he said after that fight, he goes, Mateus won that fight. And then he proceeds to lose 2 in a row. A lot of hype behind Garam, right? I mean, Georgian training with Gustafsson, ends up dropping a split decision to Demir's Magulov. Okay, Demir's fucking elite. Gets KO'd by Elvis Brenner. Then, huge favorite going into that fight. Then he beats Jordan Volchenik 7 months ago by decision.
I thought that was a robbery.
I'm just like, look, it's like if you, I'm like an X-Files guy with Garam. I want to believe. I do. I want to believe. But he just doesn't give me any evidence to back it up. He doesn't show me. I'm from the show me state at some point, and he doesn't.
What state is that?
The show me state?
Yeah.
Missouri. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Shout out Tyron Woodley.
Yeah. So I'm from the show me state, Lee's Summit, Lee's Summit, Missouri. Shout out
you were going to move there. You were all gung ho about moving to Lee's Summit.
I was going to move to Lee's Summit. I was going to join James Krause's gym. I said, this guy, I said, James Krause he takes
He's an honorable man.
He makes chicken salad out of chicken shit, and he's a great gambler. And I'm like, I'm going to make him, and he has 100 doors. I'm like, I'm going to make him my mentor. He's going to train me up. I'm going to get in that UFC. I'm going to get some win bonuses. I'm going to go with James Krause. We're going to buy up all the doors in Lee's Summit. I'm going to get me 50 doors. I'm going to gamble with him, and he's going to be my mentor.
Gamble on yourself.
See, I had a similar.
And the no good FBI stopped me from making that dream a reality. I would be in Lee's.
I've got a similar dream, Luke. I'm moving to Calabasas. I'm Kibitech my truck. I'm going to be taking Happy Hippo. I'm going to be taking Magic Mine. I'm going to be having some fight companions. I'm going to hang out with Mr. Joseph Rogan. That's just what I want to do, B.
It's because I won.
Dan's
in a row and feeling good. And it's a holiday, bruh.
Dan's only wearing the glasses because his future's too bright. His future's too
bright, baby.
You're from the mean streets at 90210 NWMMA. NWMMA from 90210 Beverly Hills.
Chihuahua.
Hoping you get out of there soon, because they got the fires, the direct energy weapons. They took out a lot of California. They're coming for you next. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're going to come for you next.
Jolly West is coming your way.
Paint the roof blue. Paint that roof blue. So who are we going to pick here? I'm taking Garam, but stay away fight for me. Stay away fight for me. Need to see where these guys are at. Good calibrator fight, but I kind of think that given historic matchups, Fernandez more of an Elvis Brenner type than not, more of an he's slick, he's sleek, he's got it going on. I kind of think Caillou is a good little dog play here, but personally, it's a no bet for me. I'll pick Garam. I think that he can make. You know what? No, I really don't believe he's going to win. I'm taking Caillou Fernandez, dog number 1. Caillou Fernandez, dog number 1. Caillou on the money line. Caillou getting his hand raised, plus 330 underdog. I'm picking Caillou formally and officially on this podcast. Because I'm really just picking Garam because I'm like hoping, right? But it's like I kind of think no, I'm picking Garam. And I'll tell you why. Muhammad Yahya is the worst fucking fighter in the history of the UFC. He's quite literally the worst fighter we've ever had in the UFC in the men's division. He's worse than JP Buys. He's worse than anybody, right? And other than a split decision, when you look at, I think the Mark Casey matchup is going to be closer to this one. I see Garam winning. I see Garam by decision, possibly even a split decision, but I'm going to go with Garam. I think he's got to get this train on the tracks at some point, and this will be the one. So give me Garam.
Luke, it's funny. You had me going there for a second. I was going to be on your side. I was going to go with Fernie. My official pick is going to be Kutalaba. Wait a minute. That's not his name, is it? Garam.
Julie Kedzie, or whatever her name is.
I actually recently sent Luke a meme or something, and it was like
Kenze Dern.
It was like the Georgian Kings, and it had the two Taporia brothers, Merab and Kutalakadze. And I told Luke, I said, Kutalakadze has been the biggest disappointment in MMA all time ever. Never had somebody break my heart so bad. I thought this guy was special, but he wasn't, and he isn't. I thought he was cut. I didn't know he'd be on this card. I'm going with Kutalakadze as the official pick. This is a no-bet situation. In fact, I'm betting on Fernie Garcia, right?
Caio Fernandez.
Caio
Fernie Garcia Hernandez versus Garam Kutalakadze Dern. Okay. Next, we got Dan. Who do you pick?
Hold up. Let me just finish this off here. I'm going to go all in on Guram. I don't think I've ever picked against him. I've been a big fan. One of the hardest starts to a 4-fight UFC career you could be given, as far as what's his face? Ismagulov, Gamrot, Elvis Brenner, the comeback kid. By the way, he was beating the living shit out of him for the first 2.5 rounds of that fight. It didn't come until like the kind of very end that he got KO'd. Great performance. And Vukovic, or whatever his name is, that English fellow, I forget if he's fighting on this card. It would make sense.
He is.
London. But he's a great fighter. So, I'm not going to hold these losses against him. I think he's leagues above Caillou. Shout out to Caillou, whatever the song goes. And I think he's going to dominate, justifying his heavy favorite status.
Alex, I'm pretty sure we were at the Orioles game together when that fight was happening, Brenner versus Garam, and I live bet Elvis Brenner.
Yeah.
Because you could see a visible turning of the tides at one point in that fight. And I always remember Mike Tyson's quote, if you go for the finish and fail to get it, you will lose the decision. Didn't even need the decision. He ended up finishing him, but you could see a turning of the tides in that fight. So much so, we're sitting in the Camden Yards, and I go, dude, I should bet Brenner right now, right? You're
Is
like,
it still called Camden Yards? Is it called something else now?
Camden Yards.
Okay, fair enough. Nah, that's the Susquehanna Bank Center that got changed, which is in Camden. Not to be confused with Camden Yards, although I would go to the Susquehanna Bank Center and sit in the yard for $20.
Used to be the Wachovia Center.
Wachovia Center. It's no longer either. Next up, we got Colin Lauren versus Nathan the Ghost.
Colin Loughran, or if you're deaf, Colin Lauren.
Versus Nathan the Ghost Fletcher, of course. I thought AJ, what's his name, was the guy that I'm thinking of. Not
AJ Fletcher.
No, AJ that fought last weekend. Cunningham? Yeah. I thought he was the Ghost, but Nathan Fletcher is the Ghost. Many people forget, man. People forget. I'm going to take Colin Lauren because although he lost his last bout and he is the underdog in this fight, Nathan Fletcher got out wrestled by Kalaf Lofi. Not a good fighter, that guy. We just saw that guy fight. Didn't impress one bit. Fletcher struggles with wrestlers. I think that Colin Lauren is a pretty good wrestler. I think he's gonna take it to Nathan Fletcher, push the pace. For some reason, I feel like Colin Lauren is a little bigger than Nathan Fletcher, just off of memory. Colin Lauren, what did Patty the Batty say he looked like?
I don't know.
Little soldiers. He looks like little
small soldiers.
Small soldiers. Yeah, and he does. He's got a block head, a block body, and I think Nathan Fletcher's just a little bit more frail and is going to play into Colin Lauren's strengths. So give me Colin Lauren as a dog, my first dog of the night.
Yeah. Here, I got Colin Lauren right here.
Hand sanitizer boy.
I like that. I like that he's going after Chandler for a cheater. It's just like nobody's accusing him of the right cheat. Yeah, this is Cal and Lauren right here. No one's accusing him of the right shit though. You know what I mean? I think he's cheating in more ways than one.
Ooh, okay.
He's he's
Oh, I thought you meant on his wife. I thought that's what everybody said.
Maybe, but I think he's also
he's injected his asshole. He injected it in his asshole. in his asshole. In his ass. Excuse my language there, but
so yeah, Cal and Lauren will be my pick too, Alex. Get right fight for him. Jake Hadley, people don't know this. He had a lot of experience with Jake Hadley prior to that fight. I think Cal and Lauren's the type of guy where Jake Hadley doesn't give a fuck. White Kong doesn't give a fuck. He's coming in there. He knew how to bully the bully, and he knew his style enough to face off against him in a tit for tat kind of striking affair where he was able to kind of like remind him of some of the training sessions they've had, I think, where he was able to like make it a sparring match. I think with that bad taste in his mouth, Kalen LaDawn Lauren is going to come out here and piece up Nathan Fletcher, secure a big, heavy-handed TKO possibly. But ultimately, I'm going to be siding with Cal and Lauren here.
If you think I'm picking against an Irish guy on St. Paddy's Day against an Englishman, you got another thing coming. We're going to triple P certify Cowlin Lochran, and that's a dog he has, a triple P certified pick, and that's a beautiful thing to see.
Beautiful dog, triple P certified. And here's my biggest point. Nathan Fletcher is a submission guy. Cowlin Lauren, he has no neck. How do you choke that which has no neck? Happy St. Patrick's Day. Cowlin Lauren, I want to hear that he was not drinking today. I want to hear that he was locked in. I want to hear that he was locked in. He was cutting that weight. He's going to.
I don't think Ireland celebrates this holiday. Do they? I think this is just an American thing. Right?
I think we celebrate it more. I think we celebrate it more, but it is still out there in Ireland.
Okay. All right. Well, we got another Irish guy. More like an Irish girl. Shauna Bannon, Mama B versus Pooja Tumar, which Indian flag kind of looks like the Irish flag sideways with a little salsa in the middle.
Hey, both of them were subjects of the English crown and had long histories railing against that. So a sisterhood kindredship might be had here.
And now they fight for the king right in his court right here in London. As Jake Paul said, I don't need new friends. I don't need fake friends. We just got to go back to London. Shauna Bannon is going to beat the shit out of Pooja Tumar. Why is that? Because there's never been a good fighter from India ever. Never, ever. So why would there be now? Shauna Bannon, Mama B, she's a big, imposing woman. She's got some great skills. Not always on display. You know, am I getting her confused with Melissa Dixon?
Why not, Sweet Pea? Tell me why not. Why not? Why can't we triple P certify Colin Lauren? And what are you going to say if he gets the win?
Whatever. Give me Mama B. Double Irish. Ireland is in the White House today. He's not good. Are you asking me or are you telling me, brother?
Guys, we got a submission guy versus a knockout guy. Second fight of the night. When the UK crowd's getting into their seats, what do you think is going to happen?
That's Sergeant Slaughter or whatever the movie is.
NWMMA, sorry, Oktoberfest. I learned this in Germany. Oktoberfest, it's encouraged to swing. It's encouraged to wife swap, if you will.
Whoa.
So
it's the Midsummer Festival, Luke, of course.
Yes, so that is apparently a thing in Germany. So, What you do is no, I can't say that. you just bring a girl that you just met and make her pretend she's your wife, and then and then you're like, yeah, you can have my wife for sure.
Shauna Bannon emphatically, double Irish. Give me a double Irish car bomb on the rocks, shaken, not stirred, or whatever the fucking expression is. Yeah, Shauna Bannon.
I agree, Shauna Bannon, and exactly the same thing that you said. I mean, I think that when it comes to this fight, it's like,
I honestly don't even know who those people are.
I don't care. We shouldn't even be breaking it down. Should be wasting time.
Doesn't count. Really shouldn't count. It really shouldn't count towards our loss record. I'll take the wins, but I'm not taking the losses for these ladies fights anymore. They're just too crazy.
Yeah.
Well, one man's craziness is one man's opportunity.
God, man, woman, dog.
Who did that?
That was despicable.
I did not.
But the truth here lies in where the money's at. And the money's on Pooja. Dog number one for me. Shauna Bannon is a, karate point fighter. Pooja, you look at her fight, I believe she won. Win or lose, doesn't matter. What I remember from her is that she was a little hellcat, getting after it, just throwing hands like crazy, ton of volume, super aggressive. And I'm supposed to believe that Shauna Bannon is such an expert at point fighting karate that she's going to keep her at bay and not allow for the bigger shots to come from the girl that's charging in over the course of 15 minutes, a girl that's not going to give up, and you're going to give me an underdog status on this? Please. This is Sam Hughes 2.0, just all over again.
You're right. Mama B it might not be saying Pooja daddy after this fight, Dan. I'm still taking her. I think I'm getting her confused with Melissa Dixon.
All right, let me go first on this next one, and then I will take us into I'll go first. You guys finish it up, start the next one, and I'll be back. I got to grab another drink. But guys, I mean, look, the question with Christian Leroy Duncan is, did he get fraud checked by Armin Petrosian? Did he get fraud checked by RoboCop? RoboCop beat him in a decision with grappling. He beat him in a decision when he couldn't go the distance with Jared Cannonier, who is good, but it's like decision wins aren't RoboCop's strengths, right? Meanwhile, he's coming in of a guy fighting in his UFC debut. What do we know about Russians? They do a lot. I think statistically, I don't have any stats on this, but I think they do well in UFC debuts versus others. I don't think that they give a fuck about the spotlight or the bright lights or anything like that, right? Now, what I do think is that Chael Sonnen said when it's a hometown disadvantage. So you got CLD fighting in his hometown again. CLD is going to be getting asked for tickets. He's on the undercard. It's a big pressure spot for him. Whereas Andrei Punilev is coming in with, a lot of submission wins. He's coming in with also a good kind of spread, right? Like he's got 5 knockout wins, 2 submissions, 2 decisions. So it's like, I feel like he can survive on the feet. I feel like he can secure takedowns. I feel like Punilev is going to win. 4-1 dog. Give me a little bit of Andrei Punilev. CLD needs to show me something. He needs to win back favor to me. And I'm not betting him in London or otherwise at this much chalk. So I'm going with the dog here. It's dog or pass for me. And I'm not saying it's like as emphatic of a pick as Carlos Vera was last week, but it's worth a sprinkle and it's worth a little bit of a boost on some parlays to go with Punilev. I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like the Russian's going to come in, frustrate, not get knocked out, secure some grappling positions, close the distance. If you look at the wins that CLD has, Dennis Shalulin, what's his reach? Let's see what Dennis Shalulin's reach is. Dennis
Cut
Shalulin's
from the
reach.
UFC.
Cut from UFC. Let's see what his reach is. His reach is 77 inches. Okay. And CLD is 79. Okay, that's not telling me too much. Claudio Ribeiro. Reach is 77 inches. Okay, so he's got a little bit of a reach on these guys. But Dusko Tudorovich, 74-inch reach. Okay, this is what I was kind of trying to get at. The matchups that I feel like CLD can thrive in are where he's got that kind of Jalen Turner effect, right? Jalen Turner does very well when he's got the height, the reach, but you put him in there against somebody with similar physical attributes, and he doesn't do as well. Now, we know Petrosian, I mean, he stinks, and he beat CLD. I think Punev beats Petrosian. He's 27 years old. He's got a 78.5-inch reach, 6'4". Something tells me Punev gets the win. It's a secure dog. There's no alternative. I'm not taking CLD coming off that loss, and really no reputable wins at 5-1 favorite odds. So it's dog or pass for me, and I'm taking Andre Punev. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Luke, you hit the nail on the head. CLD
You smoking
not-
cigarettes these days, Alex?
No, I'm actually off nicotine for good. I'm a good boy. I'm finally opening myself up to the wonders of fresh breath.
Your
Shout out to
pineal gland is getting nice little window washing.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's definitely not calcified because like RFD. What's that guy's name?
RFK.
I'm not drinking any water with chlorine in it, and whatever else calcifies your pineal gland. I got a triple reverse osmosis filter over here. You know what I mean? I'm making sure that
I did see that, and you educated me on what it was and what it does. And geez, I gotta get my hands on one of those.
you need to buy a $500 water filter at the very least. You drink too much water to not be filtering it. Sometimes I'll throw a couple of silver bullets in there just to see if the shit works.
Oh,
we gotta filter all of it out. But anywho, you can't touch CLD with this high of a line, especially against a Russian unknown. Especially with his past. Every time he's fought a good challenge, he's lost horrifically, and it hasn't even been close. He hasn't beaten anybody good. For that reason, my official pick is CLD, and I'm not going to bet him, and I'm going to bet on the other guy.
I need to do a little bit more research on the other guy, but I'm also not willing to write off CLD. He's got great CLDs, and I think that he is a tremendous athlete. Sometimes he does a little too much, but at the same time, he's been gaining a lot of UFC experience. His last fight, I forget the gentleman, but it was a dog fight. I remember that. I remember it went all 15 minutes. I remember he had to really push himself. I think that coming off a fight like that, he should be at peak CLD. So having that much confidence in a fighter and thinking that he's going to be at the best of himself, and he's the favorite, and he's the hometown guy, and I don't think it's like the Super Bowl where it's that much pressure to get people tickets and all that jazz. Every fucking fight card this guy's on, it's in England. So like, how many times do his family want to see him? It's like, I get it. You fight in the UFC. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Like, how many tickets do we need? So I don't think that's going to be too much of a strain on him. And like I said, I think he's going to be at his best. And the Vegas thinks he's going to win. All directions point to me for CLD here. But again, I'll be honest, I know very little about his opponent here. So we'll see. But everything that I know points to CLD. Let me just say that. I'm just being as transparent as possible.
All right. Next up, we have, again, two pretty similar flags. The Polish Warhammer Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin.
Oh shit.
But
I'm-
wait, did I need to do a pick before we go in?
nope.
Nope,
You
you're good.
don't gotta do shit, but sit there and shut your mouth. That's
Shut
all
your
you
whore
gotta do.
mouth.
I'm going with Marcin Tybura. And I like Mick Parkin. I think he's a cool guy. He's rubbing elbows with Tom Aspinall. Iron sharpens iron. But there's something about this Tybura here. And this is my Tybura. When it comes down to my Tybura and how my Tybura gets things done, he's like a cyborg. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna probably dominate the first round, lose half of the second, and lose half of the third, but still end up winning a nice decision. Don't know how it'll go with the crowd in London, and you'll have big Mark Goddard trying to stand him up every 2 seconds to give the boy Mick a chance. You got to give the boy Mick a chance. But I'm going with Marcin Tybura. I just think it's the smart pick. Mick Parkin hasn't been tested, much like CLD. Hasn't fought anybody who's any good whatsoever. Lucas Bresky, Mo Usman. Mo Usman looks like Shannon Sharp. Caio Machado, and Jamal Pogues. All those guys are booty meat. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Marcin Tybura.
No, I hear you. Initial thought was Marcin Tybura, kind of the up-and-comer killer. I feel like a lot of these hot prospects, and I could be completely wrong. This is just how I'm processing it in my mind when I first look at it. It's like all the guys that you think they're going to be like, ooh, they're on their way. Marcin
Jonathan
Tybura
Denise.
top to that. But then I looked at it and it was like, there's a 10-year age gap. He's 39, and Mick Parkin is 29, obviously. But then I looked at it again, and I was like, well, Tybura, who's never been a dynamic fighter, he doesn't rely on super insane athleticism. So I think slow and steady wins the race. I like everything that you said, Alex, about strength of schedule and experience and all that. And I think Tybura gets the job done.
And he's a favorite. He's a favorite here. Somebody knows something we don't, and I think the late money is going to be coming in on Mick Parkins. So I'm actually going to wait to hammer this line because I think that more people are going to learn more about Mick Parkin throughout the week. Like, oh, this guy and Big Tommy. We all love Big Tommy. We all defend Big Tommy at all costs. Get out of here. Hell no. It's Mick Parkin. It's Mick Parkin. Or no, it's Marcin Tybura. It's Marcin Tybura emphatically.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going with Mick Parkin. I like the dog shot money. I think that you guys are right in the sense that when you have heavyweights, when you have a much older guy, we know that older fighters lose at a higher rate. But when they're favored, they actually break even and win 51% of the time. Andre Arlovsky versus Chase Sherman, these types of matchups come to mind. When they're slightly favored, there's a higher win percentage there. So I think that you're making the right call, but you're going to be on the wrong side. I'm going with Mick Parkin. He's undefeated. Yeah, he hasn't fought as many guys, but he hasn't lost to him either. I think that people are going to be too scared to bet against Tybura after his performance as a big underdog against Yunata Deniz. So I'm taking Mick Parkin. I think he gets the win.
Yeah, this could be the fall of Tybura. Fall of the House of Tybura. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up next fight here. What do we got? We got Lonair Kavanaugh versus Felipe dos Santos. Any early thoughts? I mean, I'm kind of liking Loner here. Had some juice going into his first UFC fight, and I think he justified that juice. Felipe dos Santos, on the other hand, has had a rough go in the UFC. I believe he's 1-2. And I just think that Loner Kavanaugh is pretty solid all the way around. I don't see any crazy glaring chinks in his armor here. Nothing that Dos Santos is going to exploit at the very least. I think this is a bit of a setup for Kavanaugh. I know he's pretty heavily favored. Do you guys know the odds on Kavanaugh.
It looks like almost minus 400 to minus 300.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, I mean, very chalky card. One of these is going to be a grenade. One of these is going to be a Carlos Vera. I don't think it's going to be this one. I'm taking Kavanaugh.
I'm going to go the other way. The standout performance for Dos Santos for me was against Manel Kape. Short notice, filled in for Kai Kara. Fought really well. Fought to Kape's strengths and still did well. I'm not saying Dos Santos is going to win, but I'm unwilling to bet Kavanaugh at minus 400. I think it's closer to a pick'em, and I'd love to have the 3-1 odds on Dos Santos in a pick'em situation. So, not a parlay pillar, but will be, my third underdog, my second big underdog of the card. And guys, look, every card's different, every fight's different, but the dogs were barking last night, and it's a fight, it's in London. It's in the middle of the day. I mean, for East Coast time, but it's. So I don't know. I just have a feeling.
Give me FDS, Felipe Dos Santos. I've always been impressed with him, even in his losses. I think he goes out there and beats up on Loner Kavanaugh. Loner Kavanaugh hasn't fought anybody of note, anybody worth a damn. Sure, he's fighting out of Great Britain top team. Get him on the Bake Off, please. The Great British Bake Off instead. He's going to get baked by FDS. FDS all the way. I think FDS is going to win by split decision, but it's going to be a lot more lopsided with the eye test. The judges are going to give him a split though here. There's going to be some book cooking, as there usually is for this guy. He's always in a close bout. I think this one's no different.
And 8-0 is fine, but when you haven't fought anybody, I mean, 5 fights ago, but he's only fought 5 times in 3 years, and 5 fights ago he fought a 1-0 guy, a 4-0 guy, 6-0 guy, 6-0 guy, and a 7-0 guy. So yeah, he's taken a lot of O's over the past. He's taken a lot of people's O's, but those guys haven't had that many fights. It's like you look at I'll just pick a random person. Let's look at Marcin Tybura's got 9 losses. Okay, let's look at Marcin Tybura real quick. Marcin Tybura, at one point, was 11-0. Okay, Marcin Tybura was 11-0 at one point. Let's take one more example. Go with Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, he's got. At this point, he's got 13 losses. At one point, Kevin Holland was those are amateur bouts. All right, yeah, Kevin Holland, but he fought, Rafael Lovato Jr. in his second loss, right? In the UFC. And he fought Jeff Neal outside the UFC. He fought a lot of guys. He had a pretty good strength of schedule. At one point in the UFC, Kevin Holland was 5-1, 6-1. Shit. I mean, Kevin Holland was like 9-1 at one point in the UFC or something. So my point is, some people you just got to give them time, So I think Felipe Dos Santos has had a much harder road. He's going to find himself in a fight. He's never been finished. He's going to find himself in a fight that I think is easier than his previous 3. And I think Loner Kavanaugh is going to find himself in a fight harder than his previous 8. So
I agree. Couldn't agree more.
That'll do for me. Next, we got Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. Chris Padilla always disrespected, finished Zhu wrong, finished James Lontop, something that even Marcio Hufi couldn't do. Whereas our guy Jai Herbert got beat by Varaziam, finished by Ilya Taporia, no shame there. Was able to beat Alando Bedoya 7 months ago. 5 losses. The glaring stat here, it's a lightweight fight. Jai Herbert is 7 years older. I'm going to go with Chris Padilla. Chris Padilla believes himself to be a champion type fighter. It's a pick 'em fight. I kind of see it that way. I kind of think Jai Herbert will finish and close as a deeper favorite here, but I don't know. I'm just going to go with loss, win, draw, loss, win, loss, right? It's like, I mean, his record is kind of up and down, inconsistent. I think that he's taken on a pretty athletic guy, somebody who, could Jai Herbert use he's 6'1" to 5'9", but I think that Chris Padilla is just going to be a little bit more gritty, a little bit less war-torn, and be able to find possibly a finish here. So give me Chris Padilla.
I'm going with Chris Padilla as well. Give me Chris Padilla. I think he's just more game. Has more ways to win. Jai Herbert has taken a lot of damage in his career, and I think Chris Padilla is going to get it done. Submission. He's got like 6-7 submission wins, and Jai Herbert, on the other hand, not so very good at grappling. So give me Chris Padilla.
I will triple P certify a dog here in Chris Padilla. Like you guys have noted, multiple ways of winning. He can strike, he can grapple. Jai Herbert has, we see the reach, we see the technicality, we see a lot of good things out of him, but we also see the chin, and we also see, I don't know, I don't want to say a lack of effort, but just a lack of killer instinct in there at times. And then when he does show that killer instinct, it kind of goes against him. A la the, what's his face? Now Georgian champion fight. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Chris Padilla. Nice little dog shot number 2 for me. I think I got 1 or 2 more cooking. So let's rock and roll.
Let me get caught up on the comments real quick. Okay. LD should be a big favorite, yet I have no confidence in him. Right there. Exactly. I mean, that's exactly why I think it's a fade opportunity. Then we got NWMMA. By the way, guys, I'm putting I'm gonna do this, right? Okay. If you watch our show, you like our show, you want to help the show grow, you want to help us get some more viewers, go to other channels, specifically other channels that do this sort of thing live that are kind of akin to us, that are in the same ilk, right? We started this podcast completely without ever watching UFC gambling podcasts. We besides
still don't. The only ones I watch are Dynamic Instability and Connie's Corner. Those are the only gambling podcasts I can stand to watch.
It wasn't until I started this podcast that I became aware of the Dogger Pass, of the Stat Diggers, right? And to this day, I'll watch a Stat Diggers, I'll watch a Dogger Pass. So if for example, Stat Diggers, they do their show live, big fan, Uncle Weezy, Brady, a sister show. Here's what I will propose. You give them a nice donation. You give them, let's say, the first four people to donate to Stat Diggers. You donate $10. Okay, a nice little $10 dono. You donate $10, and you say, "I came here because the Perfect Parlay Pursuit," whatever you want to say, but just mention the Perfect Parlay Pursuit. Say, "Big fan. You guys should do a collab with the Perfect Parlay Pursuit," or if you like this show, whatever you want to say, right? Give them a $10 dono. You screen record it or you screenshot it. You put it in the Discord. You prove it to me you did it. You show me the timestamp or whatever the timestamp or the video recording. You put it in our Discord. I will, if you have Venmo, if you have Zelle, I will Zelle you, I'll Venmo you what you donated. So up to $10, up to $20. I will Zelle you the 20 you donated, the 10, the 20 you donated, and I'll match it. I'll give you back another 20 for the promo, with the caveat that you take that 20, you bet it, you gamble with it. Okay. I don't want you, not financial advice, but so you give us some help with the promo. You get us out there to another audience, support another channel that we like. Got to be a big channel like Stat Diggers. Can't be one of these rinky dink channels. You got to be a big one. You donate to Stat Diggers. You say, I'm here. This is a Perfect Parlay Pursuit donation, whatever you want to say. But you mentioned the Perfect Parlay Pursuit. Give them a $20 dono. You prove it to me you did it. I'm giving you 40 right there. I'm giving you $40. I'm saying thank you for the promo. Here's the 20 you donated. Here's 20 for you to gamble with. You tell us what you gambled it on. You win some money. Then whatever. We keep parlaying it. We keep passing the buck, right? So that's my promise. But up to four. We'll say for the first round, up to 4 people.
Terms and services apply.
Up to 4 people, $20. So that's I'm willing to put out $160. Okay, so the first 4 people to do, they go live next Sunday, I believe. You go on Stat Diggers, you give them 20. I will match it, and I'll give you a $20 bonus. Free way to get $20. You got to gamble with it. Not financial advice. I think that's a pretty fair deal.
Financial demand.
Everybody wins. Everybody wins. And I could just go on Stat Diggers and do it myself. I'm not trying to do the spam promo, but I see NWO in the Stat Diggers chat. I see you in the Stat Diggers chat, NWO. So that's a little let's see. Sounds great. You should tell them to donate, and you guys put them in a bet, and you may win or lose, but you turn a big wager. We'll see. I don't know what that means.
I think they should be forced to make Uncle Weezy say what they said.
They'll read the chat. They'll give some promo, and I think it's a like-minded audience. I mean, I see people who are in our audience in their chat, so it makes all the sense in the world. We get a little bit of mutual love going on, and
we'll call it PPP in the wild, something original like
Perfect
that.
Parlay Pursuit in the wild. If you know, you know. So let's catch up on the chat a little bit. Do we have any NBA bets or hockey bets? I hear the Oklahoma Thunder are good, but I don't really watch NBA.
How about March Madness? Let's go a little St. John's under Rick Pitino. Let's go a little Drake. 30-3 record going into the tournament. I think they're like the 11th seed. They won 30 games. They gotta be
more of a Kendrick guy. More of a Kendrick guy.
Yeah.
Lamar.
Drake is the hit maker. Drake's the hit maker. Okay, so then we got. I'm not trusting how. We'll get there. Skinny span. We'll get there. Padilla. He wants to say Raider Nation. Hey, I love the Raiders. I love to pick the Raiders as an underdog. The Eagles, they're a mighty team.
I'd like the Raiders a lot more if they kept that Gruden guy around.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Raiders. I would say for me, I'm an Eagles guy, but the teams that I like to catch on some good lines: Raiders, Broncos,
Titans,
Tennessee Titans. Every once in a while. We didn't have a great season last season, but 2 seasons ago.
You've been big on the Titans. You've mentioned numerous times that you might become a Titans fan and move to Tennessee just for that.
He remembers the Music City Bowl well.
No more though. No more.
Music City Miracle.
Mm-hmm.
What a play.
I've been watching UFC since 2000. Let's see. My first pay-per-view was that I purchased was GSP versus Matt Serra 2. I was in, I believe, 6th grade, and I think the first pay-per-view I watched was BJ Penn versus Sean Shirk. If that was before the GSP versus Matt Serra 2, then that's the first one.
Definitely was before, because then BJ Penn fought, and shout out to BJ Penn. Sometimes I look at my mom's ass and legs and think somebody replaced her as well. You know what I'm saying?
And then, yes, sounds great. You should tell them to donate, and you guys put them in a bet, and you may win or lose. But no. We're just you put it in the bet.
That's more of something our other sister show would do. That is no longer to be.
MMA Lock of the Night is their other sister show, and he would maybe take the money and put it into some MMA Lock of the Night. We love you, but We'd love you a lot more if you.
And he did nothing wrong in that
He
situation.
did nothing wrong. He's the man.
Free MMA lock of the night. Free MMA lock. He, as far as he's told me, he's paid everybody back. And listen.
Even if he didn't, fuck them.
What murder?
Hey guys, no honor amongst thieves. Okay, no honor amongst thieves. Okay. I will say this. I've been true to the pay-per-view model from the very beginning. You can't complain. I like to have no reason to complain. So I when I was in college, I had a Samsung phone, and I'd be in a cab on my way to the party, and at that point you could get access to the fights, and I wasn't home. I couldn't buy the pay-per-view. So I here and there, you get access, and I would watch it.
Fucking illegal.
I'd watch it on the go. But every chance I can,
that's fucking illegal.
Every chance I can, I buy the pay-per-view. I pay the ESPN. I don't give a fuck because I want to. I'm a grown man. You know what I mean? I got coworkers who are like, yeah, man, I watch it on crack streams. I'm like, and they always complain like it went down, like it goes down, and all this shit. I'm just like, bro, you just buy the fucking card. There's no misunderstandings. You watch her now with ESPN Plus. There's a lot of misunderstandings. So,
Dude, yeah, I was gonna say you're better off going.
You hear they refund everybody? They refunded everybody. Like they let people watch the fight for free. I'm like, bitch, I paid. It didn't work. It didn't glitch for me. I paid, and you're giving people free access to the shit I paid $80 for. Like that's where I get a little annoyed.
No, they gave it to him the day after.
I also get annoyed when I'm out here spending $2,000 a year to be a UFC fan, and Dana White is bailing Aiden Ross and fucking Steve will do it out at the casinos. It's like, Dana, bail me out. I've been a lifelong evangelist. I've been buying fucking pay-per-views on people's college apartment accounts without them knowing for years. Like, I've been a lifelong evangelist of this sport, and I just want Dana White to be like, how much did you lose on Ryan Spann's dumbass? All right, hold on. Come here. Let's play a couple games of blackjack. Win me my 10. I'm just looking for 10K. I mean, geez.
Just imagine Dana White saying it verbatim on Ryan Spann's dumbass.
Justin, we had MMA Lock of the Night on the show. He's a friend of the show. We were the only ones who defended him.
We were the only ones who defended him.
Only ones.
Literally.
There was, I said,
and he's got an open seat here
for it. Alex and I. We had mockery videos made of us.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
Donate. You know what? If you donate to MMA Lock of the Night, that counts. Stat Diggers or MMA Lock of the Night, I'll say both of those will count towards up to 4 people. First 4 that get in, up to $20. I will match it.
That's our guy.
You got to post it in the Discord. You got to
Lock of the Night.
You got to get after me because I'm a busy guy. Like if you do it and you're like, Luke, where's my money? It's like you got to fucking make me see it. You got to be like, hey.
We're not one of these cancel culture.
I'm not hard to find. We're
not one of these cancel culture degenerates over here. I didn't give MMA Lock of the Night any of my money and trust him with it, but I did. Anybody who did is fucking dumb enough to be that they should have lost it. Okay, in the first place.
Right.
Gamble legally like a real man, and just like you buy the fucking pay-per-view card, gamble like a man. I don't give a fuck. MMA Lock.
You know how much would I have lost in fucking scam crypto coins, and I don't fucking shed a tear. I don't give a fuck.
He rug pulled you.
Like, oh, I gave this guy.
He rug pulled you, dummy. Get out of here.
You got rug pulled. It's like
and MMA Lock of the Night has an open seat on this podcast. Whenever he wants to get back into it, and let him know I said that personally.
Guys, clip this. Send this to MMA Lock of the Night. He couldn't have been more apologetic. As far as I know, he paid everybody back the money. And to me, it's like, well, it's done. You paid him back the money. It's done. There's no reason to be in hiding. It could happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody. Okay. As a guy who overdrafts his bank account time and time again, gotta give the Bank of Alex a call every once in a while. Hey, I call him and say, hey, brother's promise.
My brother's keeper.
Never mention this to my wife or our mom. I need 400.
I will say nothing. I'm going to not even acknowledge that he just said that. And
you got to cover that AJ Cunningham $400 hit. I need 400.
We're doing better. Nothing will humble you more than a phone call like that. You know what I mean? He's never gonna call Alex. He's like, bro, I was on blackjack last night. I don't have it. And I'm like, fuck. Now I gotta call.
Which Luke, if you called me this weekend and asked for any money, that probably would have been your response.
Yeah. I'm like, now I gotta go another sibling down. You know what I mean? And it's like my siblings get less wealthy but more responsible as I go down. So Alex, it's like I have the highest base salary, but I'm the most irresponsible. Alex is the second highest base salary, but the second most irresponsible. My sister's a goddamn teacher. She ain't making shit, but I could probably call upon her for a couple hundred. Beneath her, my brother's a fucking 19-year-old firefighter.
He only operates in cash too.
And the funniest thing is, those of us at the top who make the most money do the least for society and are the most irresponsible. And as you go lower, my siblings become more like better servants of society who get paid less and are more
houses, like they do so much.
If we could take an average, right, we would be some rich, productive members of society. If we could just average it all out, like what I make and what my firefighter brother does. If we could all take an average, it would be fair. But capitalism is not fair, and they should have went to business school. Okay, hard not.
Or just go to school to become a teacher, and then decide you want to do business. Like it's pretty simple. That's what I did.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. All right. Next, we got Nathaniel, the Prospect Wood versus.
Did we get to all the comments? Did we get to all the comments without further ado? Did we get to all the comments?
He's a fan of Man Brady. Says he's a good guy. I enjoy his show, and I don't watch his show anymore, to be honest with you guys. But
I didn't know he had a show anymore. I thought he just does the newsletter.
At the end of the day, he said that we would be the first podcast that he came on when he made his return. He said, "Give me a year." It's been like 3 years. Okay, I mean, it's like no one ever told him about the internet. It's like, guys, it's like you want to be like Man Brady, like.
Nobody cares anymore. Get back on the air. What are you
Louis C.K. and Chris D'Elia have come back faster than you, and they had, you know what I mean, like a lot more egregious, like
allegations,
like, just who?
I mean, Luke, you saw what they allegated against Dan and I, what we do in our spare time together. I didn't appreciate that one bit.
Not one.
That's crazy. I went on like a 10-minute tirade defending Manpreet, and then I leave to take a piss and leave you two holding the bag, and everybody only sees you two, and they put dicks in your mouth. They did all sorts of crazy shit. It's like at the end of the day, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
This show is parody.
Sounds like a sucker.
With that being said, we're gonna run a Perfect Parlay Pursuit prize pool, and you give us your money. And, we'll let you know. No. Okay. Where do we go from here? Nathaniel the Prospect Wood versus the last pirate, Morgan Shari. For me, it's Nathaniel Wood in spades all day, all night. I don't know how the fuck he's the underdog. Nathaniel Wood is great. He's good. He's great. He's not finishable. He's hearty. He's smart. He's got a great head on his shoulders. I have been on record saying Nathaniel Wood, he looks like a marionette doll. He looks like a puppet. He behaves like a puppet. He, Patty the Batty throws that word around a lot. Muppet. Nathaniel Wood's a Muppet, but he gets the win here. And you're giving me plus money on Nathaniel the Prospect Wood. I'm taking it. I'm taking it all day. And Morgan Cherry, he's got 10 losses. He gets caught staring. He gets hypnotized. Nathaniel Wood is more competent in every area. Yeah, Shari is maybe a more scary finisher, more opportunist moment winner. But Nathaniel Wood's the minute winner. And I'm taking Nathaniel Wood here. Nathaniel, made out of wood. He's a puppet. I want to be a real boy. A real boy.
No problem, mate, yeah? No fucking problem.
I look in here. We got Nathaniel Wood at plus 142. Not juicy enough for me. Nathaniel Wood, he petered out at 135. Now he's experimenting at 145. I don't think it's gone super well for him. I know he lost at one point in time. Remember it? I was at a wedding. I was watching on my phone the Naimov fight. Since then, he's fought one other time. He beat Daniel Pineda. Pineda had some moments, I remember, in that fight in the third round. I like Charrier here. The guy's got thighs like Saquon Barkley. He's athletic as hell. As Luke was talking about, he delivers punishing blows. Way more eye-catching shots will be had from this fight of Charrier delivering to Wood than vice versa. Can Wood put together some nice combinations, some nice volumes? Yes, but I think Charrier will keep up enough and have the more glancing blows that'll put him over the top. And one of the few favorites on this card that isn't astronomical at minus 170. So I don't hate it at all. Give me Morgan Charrier. I don't think I bet against this guy. I don't plan on it. I think he's a great fighter.
Give me Nathaniel Wood, and give me Nathaniel Wood emphatically. Way stronger strength of schedule, way better fighter. Morgan Charrier, he's got 31 fights, 10 losses. This is a female. This is a female type stat line here, and when I went to the bathroom, I remembered Alex Gumbas is just the biggest pussy in the world, and he threatened a lawsuit on me. And if he wants to subpoena me, come the fuck ahead. You're a loser, and I hate you. And guess what? That's not libel or slander because it's all my opinion. You're a fucking loser.
Is that you said Andrew Gumbas?
I thought his name was Alex Gumbas.
No, I think it's Andrew. Drew Gumbas.
Loser.
This is a Ricky Simone situation. I mean, without as juicy of odds, yes. I think this is a y'all must have forgot about Nathaniel Wood scenario here.
You're taking Nathaniel Wood too?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. I thought the way Dan said it sounded like you were on Charrier as well.
He took Morgan?
Yeah, he took Morgan Charrier.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, I like Morgan Charrier, but the guy's got 10 losses, and you're looking at a line that is just, it's recency bias. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that.
Who's got cleaner striking, Nathaniel Wood or Chepe Mariscal?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I really think that if you look at Nathaniel Wood's fight against Andre Feely, or even his fight against Naimov. I mean, a lot of people thought his fight against Naimov, he won. I think that Nathaniel Wood it's minute winner versus moment winner, and I think Nathaniel Wood's hardy enough to not get taken out.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Where'd you find that?
Here and there around.
Minute winner versus moment winner. I'm gonna take that one. I'm definitely gonna use that one in the future. I love that.
Yep. All right, next we got Chris Leroy Duncan. Chris Duncan versus Jordan Volchenik. Interesting matchup. I mean, kind of a mirror matchup, I would say. Kind of a mirror matchup. Real interesting fight. What do you guys think about this? I need some takes before I get into mine.
I think Chris Duncan is ass. He stinks. I would never bet on him. He won that last fight against whom? Oki, and then Ashmutz. He proved me wrong a few times in there. I was an Omar Morales truther. I thought he was pretty good. I guess all I'm finding out here is that I've been wrong on this Chris Duncan a lot. And I might be wrong again. I might be right. But I liked what I saw from Jordan Vucenic. I thought that he beat the shit out of Garam Kutulakadze. Although Garam Kutulakadze hasn't necessarily hit the he hasn't hit his peak as far as his UFC career has gone. I think that was one of the better fights Garam had. And this Volicic guy, he went out there and he did the damn thing. I do think that he kind of got a little laxy daisy in some things, so you got to question the fight IQ. But I think Jordan wins this one. Dan, what do you think?
I agree. I like Vucenic, however you say it. I was singing high praises for Guram earlier in the video, and I stand by those. And he had a hell of a fight against him. A lot of people thought he won, so I like this UFC newcomer. He was a champion in Cage Warriors, and Chris Duncan is like, he's like your intermediate UFC fighter. If there's someone that's trash, he will destroy them, and he'll pick up a lot of wins at that intermediate level as well. But I think Vucenic, whatever you say, is Vucenic. He's like one half level above Duncan, I would say, until he proves otherwise. But at his floor, I would say he is better than Duncan. He's a little bit more than just technically sound and tough. He's both those things and a little bit more dynamic, and is going to threaten more of a finish than I think Duncan will be able to. So give me Mr. Jordan.
You drop the Leroy, I'm out on Duncan. It's that simple.
Here's my thing. My instinct, it makes me uncomfortable to take Volchenik at this line. He's a submission guy. Duncan's a striker. I feel Duncan, that American Top Team, is going to be more than competent enough to keep this one on the feet. I think it's going to be really damn close, man. It's not a fight I really want to bet. At the end of the day, minus 400 almost on the Volchenik side is too much. I see it as a mirror matchup. If I'm looking at the card and we've had a long string of favorites leading up to this one, then I'm going to sit there and be like, damn, like Duncan is a live dog for sure. If, some of these other dogs I've picked, like Punalev, Loughran, Dos Santos, there's some pick'ems in here, Parkin, Padilla. Like if the dogs are barking, Nathaniel Wood, I'm going to be less inclined to think that the run will continue through the main card. And I'll probably say, okay, Volchenik's going to be more stable there. But if you see a long string of favorites leading through the prelims into the main card, then I think Duncan's pretty live. I think I see this as more of a pick'em fight. I'm wondering what people are seeing or what they know that I don't. But give me Volchenik. It just makes me uncomfortable, but sometimes that's what you got to do. I won't be a parlay pillar. Next, we got Molly McCann versus Alexa Theanara. You got to wonder where they dig Alexa Theanara up from, right? She's a Contender Series girl. She beat Rose Coniciao.
She looks like the girl who became a prostitute and addicted to cigarettes after her one UFC fight. And it was like UFC legend.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with fading Molly. Look, you got to wonder, right? You go, is the UFC just like, let's get the butts in the seats with Molly McCann, but let's build up some other people? Or is the UFC going, it's meatball day?
Meatball day! Meatball day! Meatball day!
I don't think it's meatball day. I'm going to take the newcomer Theanara here, but, I know that Molly McCann has improved on the ground, right? And it seems like this girl that's kind of her path to victory. I could see this becoming here's what I could see. Alexa, newcomer, coming into the UFC in enemy territory, shoots for a few takedowns, doesn't get them. Molly McCann gets the crowd on her ass, starts throwing meaty hooks, knocking her around, wins a couple close rounds. Theanara gets discouraged, doesn't go for the takedown, ends up going to decision. Molly McCann wins. It's really going to depend upon who this girl is. And it's like none of us know, right? We don't even know who she is at this point. So I will fade Molly McCann. But it's not a bet. It's not a parlay pillar. It's a go take a piss fight for me. It's not something I'm interested in playing either side of, to be honest with you. If Molly McCann was plus 400, sure. But at this line, in this situation, too many unknowns. I don't know how Molly's been training. I know she got that Rolex from Drake. I don't know how motivated she is. She's got a lot of losses. She's had some hiccups, some bad spots on the ground. This girl could look like a minus 1,000 favorite. She could come in there, take her down, get her out of there with a submission pretty quick, or she could get very discouraged in her UFC debut. Lights are too bright. That crowd's going to be rocking for Molly McCann. So it could either be a real blow up on the launch pad for Molly McCann, or it could be how could I be that much of an idiot to think that Molly McCann wasn't going to go out there and bang and win as an underdog in London. So stay away fight for me. Not a parlay pillar at any point, but I'll fade Molly McCann because it seems responsible.
Dan.
Did Stipe Miocic just call me in? I'm going to go with... Sorry, bud. I'm going to go with Alexia here. By the way, fighting out of the Hebos gym. That's right, Amanda Hebos herself, her father's gym. This is where this girl's training out of. And the fact that, I'm going to read into the line here, God forbid. But the fact that she's such a heavy favorite for a Molly McCann fight in London, like all of her fights, Molly McCann is like a minus 500 when she's in London. So just that, the age advantage, got some quality fights in there. She fought, who was it here? She lost to her, but I'm going to give her a little bit of credit for just having some sort of UFC experience. Is Bruna Brazil back in 2019. It went to the third round. And since then, she's just nothing but winning and finishing fights.
Molly McCann's most recent loss?
Bruna Brazil. There you go. Thank you for connecting the dots for me. So yeah, I like the favorite here. Is it obviously one of these parlay pillars or something I'm going to have heavy investment on? No, but the arrows to me are pointing towards Alexia.
Give me Alexia as well. MMA math is the only thing that works, and both of these ladies stink. But one of them lost to Bruna Brazil 6 years ago, and one of them lost to Bruna Brazil a few months ago. The older lady lost to Bruna Brazil, the fighting nurse. And 34 years old. Some would say that means that she has more testosterone than Alexia, but you gotta take into consideration the Luke. What is the thing that you and Joe Rogan like to talk about? The drug and cat urine.
Toxoplasmosis.
Yeah, this woman's in Brazil. She's getting toxoplasmosis, so she's getting just as much testosterone, I'd imagine, as Molly McCann. So give me Alexia, give me Alexia, give me Alexia, give me Alexia.
Yeah.
Our cats look crazy similar. All right, next up, we got Kevin Holland versus Gunnar Nelson. Gunnar Nelson, that's what they called me in high school. The Goon King. I'm going to go with Kevin Holland. Sure, Kevin Holland's lazy. Sure, Kevin Holland sucks. Sure, Kevin Holland's a quitter. Sure, Kevin Holland will never reach his full potential. Sure, Kevin Holland's a 45-70. I don't care. Gunnar Nelson hasn't fought in a grip probably like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Been a very long time. I think he's like 1-4 in his last 5. And one of the great MMA minds. This is my Shabian pick of the week, where I'm looking at things one way, and Shab tells me I need to turn left. I gotta get off of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I hate Kevin Holland. Yeah, Kevin Holland stinks. Yeah, this is all true, but dumb math doesn't count. We're going with the Kevin Holland year. We're going with Kevin Holland emphatically. Kevin Holland is going to beat the shit out of Gunnar Nelson. I mean, look at these guys' bodies. This is no RDR. This is none of the guys that would beat the shit out of Kevin Holland. Gunnar Nelson is a butt scooter, a butt sitter. He sits on his butt, scoots towards you. He doesn't know how to do a takedown. Kevin Holland's going to whoop his ass. Give me Kevin Holland. And I swear to God, if he loses this fight, if he gets fucked up, if he quits in the first round, cut his ass, leave him in England. Leave him in England for the hooligans to deal with.
So, Dan, you picked Molly McCann?
No.
Okay, so you trophy certified against Molly. Okay. Yeah, this one's a tough one, right? Because I think I got to go Kevin Holland too. And you guys know my history with Kevin Holland. We were really high on him.
Rob the bank. Let's rob the bank.
I was very high on Kevin Holland up till the Wonder Boy fight. And then I was real low. And I mean, Kevin is in a desperate must-win situation. And I think Gunnar Nelson is coming off a 2-year layoff. His last opponent was Brian Barberina. He ain't going to fucking – Gunnar Nelson – Renier de Ritter, Gunnar Nelson is not. Okay? He's great on the ground, but not great enough to absolutely dog walk Kevin Holland on the ground. Even in the Renier de Ritter situation, Kevin Holland was landing some devastating strikes from his back, punching, doing what he could. Same thing with Roman Doladeze. I think Kevin Holland is in a must-win fucking situation here. If Kevin loses this, it's his swan song. It's bad. It's real bad. Has he made enough money? Is he ready to hang it up? Is he done with this shit? Maybe, but I think this is going to be a Kevin Holland striking clinic. I think he keeps Gunnar Nelson off of him, and I'm gonna go with Kevin Holland. I'm gonna go with Kevin Holland here. And I wasn't thinking I was going into this. When I first saw it, I was like, yeah, fuck Kevin Holland. But I'm like, no, Luke, you got to put bygones be bygones. You got to put it aside, and you got to go. At the end of the day, Kevin is bigger, longer, more athletic, just as competent on the ground. Might not be as good with the wrestling, but his reach and his striking will keep Gunnar off him. Gunnar's coming in rusty, not coming in fresh. I think that Kevin Holland is it's a catch the knife fight, right? It's like Kevin stock's going down. We're gonna catch that knife and we're gonna go up with it a little bit. So give me Kevin Holland. A lot of dogs I'm taking. I didn't think I was going to be taking so many dogs. I'm taking a lot of dogs again.
Well, Kevin Holland's not a dog, right?
Pretty much a pick 'em, but he's going to be the dog side.
This is the rob the bank night. There's no fucking way Gunnar Nelson wins this fight. I guarantee it. I'm going to put it as a parlay pillar. I guarantee his only pathway is through jiu-jitsu, obviously. And Kevin Holland is pretty damn good at that. Skill-wise, technicality-wise, but also just his physical attributes. There's no way that, Gunnar Nelson takes his back. This will be a soundbite if he does. But there's no freaking way that happens. And on the feet, he's just way more athletic, way faster, younger, and just going to piece him up. So I love Kevin Holland here. I don't care about the stigma attached to it that he's let us down many times before. This is the fight for him. This is just teed up. This is softball. This is just easy money. Women's tea. Move it up. Hit it out of the park. Kevin Holland.
Carlos Ulberg, she'll be served by Kevin Holland. Carlos Ulberg, Blackjack versus Jan Blachowicz. 42 years old, Jan versus 34 years old, Carlos Ulberg. 6'4" Carlos, 6'2" Jan. Equal reach. Minus 225 on the Ulberg side, close to plus 200 on the Jan side.
Look, before you get into this, you got to address some comments. I just took a peep at the live chat. There's a heinous one. That's it.
Oof.
Listen,
what do you think about that?
I think Michael Vick did his time, paid his debt to society. He's going to be a college head coach, and Coach Reed's very proud of him, and so am I.
Okay, I like that. That wasn't as atrocious as what I thought you'd say.
No. Listen, Michael Vick paid his debt to society, and he's okay in my book. Just running around with a bad crowd.
All right. Go on. So sorry.
Oh,
Or do you want me to
very,
take?
very hard fight to call. I think you got to look at Jan, right? Split decision against Alex Pereira, draw against the current champ Ankalaev. Great fighter. Are you expecting to see a worse Jan every time out now that he's way over 40? I kind of do. But I also think that there's not too much about Blackjack's game that is threatening to Jan. I think that this is going to be close. And I think, put it this way, it could be close or it could look like an absolute trouncing. It really, we've seen Jan come out against Glover and just have a really paradoxical performance. I'll side with Black Jag. I usually bet youth, but I don't feel good about it. I like Jan a lot, and I think that I think that he's not to be overlooked, and I think Black Jag and his camp and everybody they kind of seem to do that sometimes. You know what I mean? They seem to overlook opponents, and for some reason, I feel like Goldberg is just really, I guess, the Nchukwi fight. Fights where I feel like it's really been, he's got one loss, right? But that stands out in my mind as like he let us down. Too pretty. Jan's an ugly Polish motherfucker. He's, you got to kind of bet the ugly side. I'm going to take Goldberg, but I don't feel great about it. Luckily, it's close to the top of the card, so you can hedge out on Jan if you got a big parlay still intact. But I'm going to take Goldberg, but it's not a. It's not a I mean, Jan's 42. He wrestles or he loses. I think that Olberg's athletic enough to pivot, get under hooks, keep him off him, keep him at range, dot him up, jab him up, possibly get a finish. Jan's a bit of a wincer on the feet sometimes. I think his best days are behind him in the striking department. And I'm going to go with Olberg, but not loving it.
I disagree. People forget, man. People forget. Jan Blachowicz, last person to beat Magomed Ankalaev. Don't care what they say. Draw, no draw. That was in Abu Dhabi. It was in the desert. Oh, no. Was that in Salt Lake City? I never remember. I always get Abu Dhabi, Salt Lake City mixed up. They're the same place, in my opinion. Kennedy and Nchukwi knocked the fuck out of Carlos Olberg. He gets cocky. He puts his chin on a platter. Legendary Polish power. I don't think Jan is washed up by any stretch of the imagination. I think he goes out there and I think he puts it on Carlos Olberg. Like Luke said, Carlos Olberg, too pretty, too fine with it. In hockey, you're doing too many dangles, trying to get it into the net past the defender. They say he was being a little too fine with it there. Carlos Olberg is a little too fine with it. Jan Blachowicz will make it messy, and he's too fucking clean. He's going to go in there. He's going to knock out Carlos Olberg. I don't think he has to wrestle to get it done. I think he's got legendary Polish power. But regardless, he's got far more ways to win, far more well-rounded, and has been longer for a better he has fought longer against better competition for longer. Kennedy, or not Kennedy and Nchukwi. Carlos Olberg hasn't showed us shit. He hasn't fought anybody worth a damn. Volkan Oezdemir, Alonzo Menefield, Dawon Jong, Eor Bataria, Nikolai Nurmagomedov, Tafon Nchukwi, Fabio Charant, Kennedy and Nchukwi. Wow, he fought two brothers. That's crazy. I'm going with Jan. Jan's gonna whoop his ass, and he's gonna make it look easy. As a dog.
No, I would love to go with you on this, but I have to go with Olberg here. The age is definitely a factor. I'm 42 years old, and also I think the real X factor here, though, is going to be the fact that Olberg's camp has already fought Jan. I think that they're going to see a lot of these things coming. They'll have him well prepared. I think at this point, at 42 years old, Jan he's got about 2 or 3 tricks. And if you can learn to counter those 2 or 3 tricks, you'll be well on your way to victory, especially with Olberg's skill set. Like he is, I wouldn't put him like in the top 5. I don't think he's going to be a champion one day. Let's say that, but he could strike his ass off. And I think if this is going to be a 15-minute fight, only 3 rounds, I think that favors him. He should be able to eke out 2 of these 3 rounds. Maybe he'll get taken down in the 3rd, but just don't get submitted. And I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm agree with you, Dan, but I don't feel good about it. I think Jan could blast some leg kicks. If Olberg doesn't get going, then I think it could be Jan's night, but we will see. Bit of a stay away from me. This next fight is not, though. I feel pretty strongly about this next one. Leon Rocky Edwards, 33 years old, 6'2", 74-inch reach, taking on Sean Brady, 32 years old, 5'10", 72.5-inch reach. Going to be shorter, stockier. The grappler versus the striker, they'll have you believe. Look, I asked myself, how does Sean Brady beat Leon Edwards? Leon, I believe, has a very underrated grappling skill set. He's got good takedown defense. He's an amazing striker. This fight is now at a better time for him. You know, he had to fight against Bilal very early in the morning. This one's going to be at an appropriate time. It's the headliner. It's his get-right moment to come back after 7 months ago losing his title. I'm taking Leon Edwards, guys. I think that he pieces Sean Brady up on the feet. Sean Brady struggled to take down Gilbert Burns. I think that Leon is much better than Gilbert Burns. I think Leon has great takedown defense, as good as Burns, and I think he is faster, stronger, longer, and will pivot better off of the cage and start putting hands on Brady. Guys, Brady got, overwhelmed by Bilal Muhammad. That was when he fought in Abu Dhabi. Now he's going to London. This is a guy who is a Philadelphia hick. He's a Philadelphia water trash. He is going to not travel well. He's not going to eat well there. He's going to be picky. He's going to be particular. And he's going to, I believe, fail in this moment. I think that the UFC...
You don't know nothing about no Mediterranean diet.
I think... No, it's in London. I think that Brady's going to get there. They're putting beans on the bread, and dude, he's my people. He's Philadelphia water trash, and I think he's going to get overwhelmed, and Leon's going to put the hands on him, and while Brady will secure a takedown here and there, I think Leon will do what it takes to win 3 of the 5, and Leon Edwards by decision. Maybe Leon by decision or KO. I don't see Leon submitting him, obviously. So I think it's Leon by decision. Smart, tactical. Brady is going to fail the takedowns, and Leon is going to be far superior on the feet. And what am I missing here?
You're not missing a thing. And I don't want to miss a thing. And Leon Edwards,
he it was a close fight against Bilal, and Bilal, he learned more from that fight in the grappling department than Brady did in the striking department against Gilbert Burns or any of the other, or Kelvin Gastelum or any of the other people Brady's fought. Brady is still very unseasoned with the strikes. They're putting beans on toast, bro. They're putting the beans on the toast. They're putting beans on toast. I couldn't even get a glass of water. I went to all they give me is tea.
I think their water comes in cartons over there, like milk, right? Bradley Cooper, far right, get back in the show. Danny Cooper over here.
What is he saying? Get back in the show.
We got 2 guys.
I'm in the show.
We got Eagles, we got Flyers, all repping Philly, and we're out here telling you, Sean Brady ain't gonna be able to cut it against Leon if Leon comes in here mentally right. And
he's gonna get destroyed. Leon Edwards is longer, better, faster, stronger, thick thighs, big ass packs, huge traps. He's been off long enough. He's not the champ anymore. He can cycle back on. Leon Edwards is gonna smoke him, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's going to be a TKO, similar to the Bilal Muhammad one.
Listen, plot twist over here. We got a lot of Philadelphia representation. I'm going to go against Sean Brady in the ultimate Triple P certification backstab. We're going with Leon Edwards here. I couldn't agree with my compadres here more. A lot of learning, I feel, it went on with Leon Edwards in the Bilal Muhammad fight. And again, I feel like it's a lot easy. Listen, these wrestlers over here, they make it seem like it's fucking rocket science how to stop a takedown. It's not. You get lower than the other guy, you drive your hips, you get your underhooks, you push them upwards, and that's that. It's not that hard. I think Leon Edwards will get that done. And, when it comes to the striking affair, he should be running circles around Sean Brady, to be honest. So, it's a – I'm not going to disparage Sean and call him a one-dimensional fighter, but, he's closer to that than Leon is. Let's just say that. So I'm surprised with the price tag. You're getting plus 120 on Leon.
Trap line.
Awesome. I love it. I'll take it. So Triple P certified Leon Edwards.
Luke, what are you doing this week?
I don't know why.
The NCAA National Championship is in Philly.
When?
Thursday through Sunday.
We
might be able to make a day. We might be able to make one of the days at least.
Well, Saturday I'm watching the fights.
Yeah. No, Saturday is when you're gonna. That's gonna be the most expensive ticket you can get. That's for first place right there, and that's when I have two screens up. Dude. Oh my gosh, genius idea. We get tickets. Daniel Cormier is going to be there. He's going to be commentating for ESPN. He's not going to England. It's going to be John Gooden, Paul Felder, and Michael Bisping. That's the I just found out. Yes, Daniel Cormier is going to be there. We should go and press him.
Yes. Maybe Sunday.
No, not Sunday. It's Thursday through Saturday. So it would have to be like Friday night, I think.
Maybe.
All right, we'll figure it out. We'll handle the logistics.
Pricing options. Send me some pricing options. All right, boys. I love you guys. Let's go through the full picks, top to bottom, and get out of here for the evening. If you're going with me, Leon Edwards, Carlos Ulberg, Kevin Holland, Alexa Theanara, Jordan Volcheniak, Nathaniel Wood, dog number 3, Chris Padilla, dog number 4, Felipe Dos Santos, dog number 5, Mick Parkin, dog number 6, Punalev, dog number 7, Shauna Bannon, Kalen Loughran, dog number 8, Guram Kutulakeze. So 8 dogs. A lot of them are pick'ems though. I'll put something together for you guys in the open bet sheet. Get in that open bet sheet, and we'll go from there. We'll figure out who we're going to cut from this lineup.
All right. If you're rolling with me, it is Leon Edwards, Jan Blachowicz, Kevin Holland, the Narnia, not Molly McCann, the Narnia, Vucenic, Nathaniel Wood, Padilla, Chris Padilla, Taco Padilla, FDS, Marcin Tybura, CLD. Hello.
I thought you picked Punalev.
Huh?
I thought you picked Andre Puleyev.
I'm betting on Punalev.
Okay.
But I'm not picking him. That's silly. That's absolutely
okay.
Redacted, bro. Give me Lauren and Kutulakadze. And I'm also betting on Fernandez, too.
And Bannon, right?
Oh, Mama B. Of course we're going with Mama B. Daniel?
If you're rolling with me, you're going to go with Leon Edwards, Carlos Ulberg, Kevin Holland, Alexia Sayonara, Jordan Vucenic. We got Morgan Charrier. We got Chris Padilla, Loner Kavanaugh, Marcin Tybura, CLD, Christian Leroy Duncan, Pooja Tomar, Cowden Lachlan, Happy St. Patty's Day, and Guram Kutladidze.
Dan, I'm looking at your perfect parlay. I'm thinking here's where your landmines are. Morgan Charrier, Marcin Tybura, Pooja Tumar. Other than that, I think you got a really good shot at the perfect parlay.
I don't disagree. Those are definitely tough ones.
Trophy certify Callan Loughran, Chris Padilla, Jordan Volchenik, Alexa Theonara, Kevin Holland, and Leon Edwards. I like that. I like that a lot. You got Loughran, slight dog, Padilla, slight dog, Volchenik, big favorite, a little uncomfortable on there, maybe leave him off. Theonara, lady fight, maybe leave her off. But Holland and Edwards, I mean, Loughran, Padilla, Holland, Edwards, it's a nice little 4-fight, what is that? $100, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, $100 for 1,600 probably, just doing mental math there. $100 for almost 2,000 probably, actually, with all the little spare change on those pick'ems. But Edwards, Holland, Padilla, and Loughran, 4 slight dog pick'ems that I really like and I think could be good for you guys there. So that's it. That's all. Thank you guys for joining the show. We really appreciate it. The bounty stands. You do a little donation to some of those bigger podcasts. First 4 people, $20 each. I'll match it. Prove it in the page. Prove it in the Discord, and we'll go from there.
Oh my gosh! Red alert! The fighter and the kid are currently doing an Ask Me Anything. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Let's do it, guys. Thank you for the help. You're welcome. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, NWO. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you, everybody who joined Sweet Pea. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of you guys who are joining and commented and rode with us here today. True Bulldog, thank you. We love you guys, and let's get it. Let's get it this weekend. I'll be in the Discord 1 p.m., and that's it. That's all. Thank you all so much. We'll see you later. Appreciate you.